So now I know quite a lot about life support systems because we make spaceships, and you have to keep people alive in a vacuum. So you got to say, okay, what percentage nitrogen, what percentage oxygen you can do, what's the pressure going to be, so like sea level pressure is about 15 pounds per square inch, and the partial pressure of oxygen at 20% is therefore roughly 3 pounds per square inch of oxygen. So in a spacecraft, you want to, and especially if you're in a space suit, you want to lower the pressure. So you want to keep the oxygen, still give people enough oxygen to function, obviously, but you want to lower the nitrogen content so that you don't have a spacesuit that's at 15 psi, because at 15 psi you just pop out like a balloon. It's like hard to move. So you want to try to lower the pressure, down to around, I don't know, 6, 7 psi, maybe even 5 psi. So you'd lower it to, try to keep the oxygen, partial pressure of oxygen roughly the same, so maybe around 3 psi, and then 3 psi of nitrogen, so you got 50-50 mix of nitrogen and oxygen, and then it's get pretty hot into that week.
Yeah, I tapped out. I made it a while.
I just felt getting hot too.
I'm sweating.
I mean, it's going to be sweaty and itchy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I can't believe people wear them all day.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so I know a thing or two about keeping people alive in a vacuum,
right.
So, we designed the life support system for keeping humans alive in the vacuum of space, which is very difficult. So we know quite a lot about what it takes to keep people alive. So you do not want to be people, 100% oxygen. This actually, for an extended period of time, this is not good for you.
Well, 80% of the people they put on ventilators died.
Yeah. So, in fact, I actually posted about that because I called doctors in Wuhan and said, what are the biggest mistakes that you made on the first wave? This was early on. And they said, we put far too many people on intubated ventilators. So then I actually posted on Twitter at the time and said, hey, what I'm hearing from Wuhan is that they made a big mistake in putting people on intubated ventilators for an extended period. And that this is actually what is damaging the lungs, not COVID. It's the treatment. The cure is worse than the disease. And people yelled at me and said, I'm not a doctor. I'm like, yeah, but I do make spaceships with life support systems. What do you do?
I like that.
I twiddle knobs. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Well, again, there was this very bizarre narrative that you had to believe everything that the government was telling you. You had to believe everything the CDC was telling you. And that even as time went on and we realized, hey, it looks like this came from a fucking lab. Like, even as time went on, disputing that would get you banned. It would get you kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah.
I think to this day, there's certain things you're not allowed to say in regards to the vaccine on YouTube.
As a